the bonus cards from this month's Forever Lovely bundle. This is card number 1, You Are Loved, and I'm just kind of showing you a close-up of all the little pieces here. So the directions are pretty self-explanatory in this one. The only piece that I popped up is this Flirty Flamingo flower, and the rest you just kind of arrange as you wish on there. The one tip I have is when you're die cutting your stitched layers oval, you want to keep the greeting a little bit towards the left hand side, and you can see that it's not centered because obviously the oval would come over about here. So keep it a little bit closer to the left hand side. For card number 2, this one, Wishing You a Lovely Day, is a little bit of a special fold. So it has a flap and it opens up like this. So on the back you'll see that there is just this little 3/4 of an inch piece here, and this is where you want to put your stronger adhesive, whether it's the Tear and Tape adhesive, which is my favorite, or some other strong adhesive. And here you can see too that this flower is actually cut out of the Designer Series paper somewhere, one of these little pieces I cut out. I love the detail on this, and I'll show you a trick with that. So we're working on this piece, and I have my Whisper White cardstock here on my Big Shot, and here is the die that we're using. Notice that it just has straight line here and here, so there'll be a little bit of trimming afterwards. I'm going to just run that through. I'll use my Big Shot die brush here to kind of get some of those little pieces out. And then here is what we have. Now it's just easy to take a scissors. You see that you got the line started here. Just take a scissors and cut straight. And I prefer long handled scissors for this because then it's easier to get that straight cut. And then for this piece, I find it easier to turn it over. I don't like to go like this. I'm right-handed. So if I turn it over, I can still see that really well on the back side and just clip that piece off. And there's the start to our greeting. So now we need to cut those gorgeous little detail elements into our greeting. In your framelit set, you actually have 2 of the detail pieces, and I have laid them on the cardstock here. I'm going to go ahead and die cut them. One little trick, if you, I'm not using the magnetic plate because this works really well for me. I use the precision plate in my Big Shot because that just does the trick. But if you have a hard time getting them to stay in place, a piece of washi tape is a great idea for you to give that a try. So now we just need to cut the last one, and I'll just put this one right here. And there is our last one. So there's basically the basis for our greeting. I've started assembling my card here. Here is the fold over piece, kind of the special fold piece. I've had my Tear and Tape adhesive on there. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this right in the front of my card like this, and then it's right up tight against the edge, fold it over, and then I'll just burnish that really well. And there's my fold out piece. And here's the completed card. So I've used just a small flower on this one, and I used the lovely lipstick Stampin' Blend to color the epoxy heart here. And the little detail of the hearts up here, I would just have yours going in a direction different than mine. And then simply adding a little bit of detail on the inside of the card to match the outside. And then simply adding a little detail on the inside to match the outside. What a gorgeous card. The next card is a little bit of detail, and it's for an avid crafter, but it is certainly a lot of fun. I have some tips for you that's going to make it a little bit easier, but know that it's a little bit of a challenge as well. You're going to want to start with a piece of crumb cake cardstock that is 2 3/4 inches by 11 inches. I sort of marked the center so that I knew how to do my die cut. You want to be sure the cutting edge of your die is going to be towards the outside so that the outside is cut off like this. Another die is the edgelet that coordinates with this intricate die here. So now we need to cut the Whisper White and leave it solid so that the detail of this really stands out as we put that white behind it. Here you can see that I've cut one edge of the cardstock, and I'm just going to match that up and make sure that it looks correct, and it does. I've added some Tombow multi-purpose adhesive along with a little bit of snail, and I'm going to go ahead and line up this edge And now I'll bring my Big Shot in, and I'll line up this edge right along that edge right there and die cut it. As you can see, I used a little bit of washi tape to help make sure that my die didn't slip. And there's my completed piece. I just need to do a little bit of trimming here, and I'll just add some adhesive, get in here with some multi-purpose adhesive and adhere that down. Now I'll just bring in my card base and simply fold the edges around towards the back. You don't want it too tight because you want it to be able to open. And then where things cross over in the back, I'm just going to add a little bit of again, the tear and tape adhesive, so I know that it's nice and strong. And there's our completed belly band. Well, at least the foundation. So now just die cutting, stamping and die cutting these pieces and adding them to the top. You'll see that I did use dimensionals underneath here and underneath the flower as well. But what a gorgeous little belly band this is. This heart, if you're curious, comes from this little die, and I just ran it through on some soft sea foam to get that cute little heart there. And the last card is this gorgeous card that has a little bit of detail on the inside and on the outside. I have another video that I've done earlier for that, and I'm just going to put the link right in the comments here, and it's also on your tutorial. Thanks again for purchasing this tutorial. I can't wait for next month because it's going to be just as much fun as this month. And as always, remember that you can purchase any additional products in my online store at stampinbj.com. And always remember to create and feel great.